California, home of the sun, Hollywood, hair metal, and also hardcore. It was in Santa Cruz that Drain, a hardcore band known by their high energy performances and distinctive blend of hardcore and thrash elements, was formed in 2014 and rapidly ascended within the scene, earning acclaim for their authentic sound, dynamic stage presence, and aesthetics. In this video, we're gonna talk about why they are one of the best and most fun live bands to listen and how big is their impact within the modern hardcore scene. Welcome to the series The Genius Of, and in this video we're gonna talk about one of my favorite modern bands, Drain.
We're Drain from Santa Cruz, California, fucking up it! Let's go! Let's go! That's right, motherfucker! Everybody!
Hardcore punk in the Bay Area exploded in the late 1970s and early 80s, bringing a raw, politically charged energy to Northern California's underground scene. The movement was led by iconic bands like Flipper, Crucifix, Verbal Abuse, Code of Honor, and the mighty Dead Kennedys, whose frontman Jello Biafra became known for his biting satire anti-establishment lyrics. Their 1980 debut album, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, is a classic of the genre. The Bay Area scene was grittier and more overtly politically than its the SoCal counterpart. It was shaped by the urban landscape of San Francisco, with famous venues like Mabuhay Gardens and Death Club, serving as a breeding grounds for experimentation, rebellion, and community. The Bay Area hardcore became a powerful platform for social commentary, influencing punk globally and contributing to the birth of an hardcore punk and DIY culture that still thrives today. The 2010s saw a powerful resurgence of hardcore music, fueled by a new generation of bands blending traditional aggression with fresh energy and touch of a modern sound, bringing the genre back into the spotlight. Not just as a sound, but as a movement, bands like Turnstile, Cold Orange, and Knocked Loose are big names that brought newer audiences and are turning the style as popular as ever. This whole movement deserves a video itself, but let's get to the focus with what we're here to talk about, which led us to Drain.
For fucking contention!
The inception of Drain dates back to 2014, when drummer Tim Flago, alongside guitarists Patrick Delaney and Josh Nunez, with bassist Eric Gibson, formed a band during their time at the University of California in Santa Cruz.
I do remember I probably started playing drums like early elementary school. Just kind of started tapping along to stuff out here on the radio or something. And my parents got me I remember a drum pad, and I would just kind of beat the hell out of that thing. And then they got me a drum set, and I just beat the hell out of that thing. But when I got into high school and stuff, I became really active in the band. So I was in marching band, I was in drumline, I did every single band. And throughout high school, that's pretty much all I did. I kind of put the drum set on hold. And then I moved away for a little bit, and then I came back, and then I picked up the drum set again and started to play, and just played in, the Craigslist route, just jam with random people on Craigslist and joined a pretty shitty rock band here in my local town. Mm-hmm. And then I went up to college in Santa Cruz, and that's where I had met kind of the guys in Drain, and yeah, kind of got that going.
Initially lacking on defining musical direction, the band's trajectory shifted notably a year later with the addition of vocalist Semi Ciaramitaro. Semi's dynamic presence and vocal style infused new energy into the group, driving them toward a crossover sound.
As I was growing up, I spent a lot of time playing outside with my brother and all the other neighborhood kids. We'd skateboard, play video games, wrestle, normal kid stuff. This all changed in middle school when two of my neighbors were killed in a car accident. As I transitioned into my teenage years, I grew scared of the world. I started spending more time indoors, got interested in music, and learned how to play drums. The aggression in punk rock and heavy metal appealed to me and helped me find a new sense of strength and confidence. I joined my first band at age 13 and became addicted to the feeling of playing live and making music. Now at age 21, I'm still feeding the addiction through my newest band, Drain. In the genre we play, there's a lot of tough guy macho attitudes, and that's one thing that we don't embody. We're just 5 goofy dudes who have never tried putting up the macho front. With me graduating from UCSC in June and our guitarist Josh finishing his master's program at San Jose State in May, the future of this band is up in the air. Ideally speaking, we plan on pursuing music while we're young and our bodies can handle it. We've only been around for a year or so, and in that short time we've made some great connections, played countless shows in multiple cities, and are gearing up to record our first legitimate EP. With the next chapter of Drain being unwritten, the only thing that's certain is that playing music is going to be a part of our lives forever.
With this initial lineup, there are 2 demos recorded. A demo called Demo 15, released in May 30th of 2015, and Swan Songs, released in November 28th of 2015. Later, the band solidified the sound with the addition of former bassist turning into guitarist Cody Chavez, that joined the lineup in 2016, cementing the style and creating what would be the backbone of Drain's main sound.
I mean, I definitely started off with hip-hop for sure.
Yeah.
Like hip-hop was like #1 for me at a very early age because my aunt at the time, she was like in like late high school, kind of early 20s, you know, because I lived with my grandparents. It was me, my mom, my 2 grandparents, and my aunt, who was very young at the time. And so I'd go in her room and she'd have like posters of like Biggie and like DMX and stuff. And I was like, what is this? You know, she had like VHS tapes of Beastie Boys and like Eminem live in '01 or whatever, you know, all that stuff. And so I would just watch that and I was just like, oh, this is super cool. And I just that's all I listened to at that time from like, I don't know, 5 to like however long until I found rock music, you know?
Right.
So later on, me and my mom moved to a town called Salinas. My mom married my stepdad, so I'd be in the back seat with them and then he'd be like bumping like Crazy Train, Ozzy, like the typical like dad rock music, you know, and
drive a Camaro too.
Yeah, you know, and he's like, oh man, this is a bad song right here. I'm like, what? Like, you know, and I listened to it, and his favorite band is Scorpions.
Cool.
So I really, you know, latched on to that and stuff, and you know, he'd play me like, you know, No One Like You, and so that's kind of where I started to be like, oh, this is kind of cool, and that's when I started to grow my hair out. And then that's when I was like, I kind of want to play guitar now and stuff. And I started seeing, and I got really into Kiss. Kiss was the first band I was obsessed with.
Their debut EP, Overthinking, was released in September 1st, 2016, followed by another EP called Time and Nothing Lasts from 2017, released in September 9th. This early work showcased the band maturing their sound and gamer attention within the hardcore community, not only because of the music, but also for the extreme, fun, energetic live performance and distinctive aesthetics. Couple of years went by, and April 10th of 2020, Drain released its first full-length album called California Curse. It had Sammy on vocals, Cody on guitar, Timmy on drums, and Justin Roll on bass. It was released under Revelation Records and received critical acclaim for its relentless energy and authentic representation of the West Coast hardcore. On their official release statement, the band stated, "The city of Santa Cruz, California, it's known for its boardwalk, hippie university, and the Lost Boys movie, drawing tourists and students from all over the globe, driving up the cost of living and pushing out the long-lived independence business. As a new blood of Santa Cruz hardcore punk, Drain has a fiery, metal-tinged, trashing hardcore sound for fans of Power Trip, Take Offense, Turnstile, Cro-Mags, Judge, and Terror. California Curse manages to channel youthful rage and joy all at once, setting Drain apart not just for their aggressive music for aggression's sake, but also release, community, and catharsis. So notable critics have been talking about the Drain sound at this release. Tom Brahan of A Stereo Gum describing them as old school California fight music with a generous whiff of 80s thrash metal. Writer Connor Atkinson from Acclaim say that the band sound is both old and new, tough street grit of the New York hardcore paired with a tasteful gloss of 80s thrash metal. And also Dave Anthony of Bandcamp deemed the band as surf thrash. California Curse is a 10-track, under 25 minutes, sonic punch that doesn't waste a second. From the opening track, Feel the Pressure, to the closing chaos, California Curse. It is an album that literally grabs you by the throat and throws you straight to the pit. It has infectious sound of hardcore punk, crossover thrash, and raw but tight production. Great simple but catchy riffs by Cody, and Sammy's commanding and infectiously hyped vocals are top notch. Tracks like Sick One, Army of One, and Hypervigilant show the trashy influences with moshy breakdowns and gang vocals made for shout-alongs. And the lyrics, they touch on themes of personal struggle, mental health, and resilience. But for me, what makes Drain stand out from many other bands is that they're just straight up fun. It's just a fun band to listen, and there's an undercurrent sense of optimism and just, again, straight up fun. This is also the first time I ever heard of Drain and got hooked immediately on their sound. If you're staying tuned now, make sure you comment, like, share with your friends, and subscribe on this channel. It helps me a lot. Thanks for watching this video, and let's keep going. With a bad time releasing, not just for Drain, but most of the bands at that time, most of the live music, Drain really started playing live after 2 years of the official release. And the shift on recognition from before the album was released and after was immensely and very notable. Playing a lot of live shows the next couple of years, the next album had to put Drain on a different perspective, gain the momentum that they had before, also pushing boundaries and bringing more people to their attention. The band's sophomore album, Leaving Proof, released in 2023, further solidified their status, expanding the sound and aiming on the bigger audiences. It was released by Epitaph Records on May 5th of the same year, recorded at the Pit Studio and Studio 606. Justin Rhodes left, and Drain was a power trio of the studio, with Cody playing both on guitar and bass. Revolver Magazine named its best hardcore album of the year, and it was definitely on my list somewhere on that year.
You know, with the last album, I feel like every record that we've done, and you know, I feel like it kind of goes for a lot of bands too, it's like you just try to do what you did last time. If you're not changing your sound, you just want to trim the fat and just do it better. And so we really spent time just trying to figure like does this need to be here? Like, let's make everything we put down, it has to be there. It's mandatory, and it adds to the song and brings it. So I feel like with this record, we really tried to bring everything we like, which is just a blend of guitar music with mosh music and really catchy hooks and sing-along parts. And so without really too much thought into it, you know, we did that. I think we were able to achieve that.
A little more straightforward, straight to the point, less outside influences and more just kind of a balls to the wall hardcore record. I think that a lot of personal shit happened to each and every one of us in the past couple of years, and I think we were definitely trying to channel that and just make a really angry, mean hardcore record that a lot of younger kids can gravitate towards.
He came to me maybe 7 years ago with just a cold message asking if I would do their demo. Said yeah, had a great time, did it again, then we did it again, and then we did it again, and then I think we did their album, maybe one less than that, but yeah, we just kept doing it. They kept getting better and better, and then there was finally an explosion. And they always had it in them, but once it hit, it hit.
We've been with Taylor for every single release we've done. You know, we just started with a dry email. We didn't know him. We were just fans of his band. And we were shocked that he even responded to us in like 2015. And we booked our first little studio time with him, and we had a great time. We learned a lot, and we went back, and we just keep coming back. And so now it's cool because it's like, I just feel like it's me and my bandmates. We were like my best friends, and we're sitting in there with just like our big bro, you know, and he's just like so real and so honest. It's like, yo, that sucks, do it again, you can do it better. And he pushes us, and also like is able, he's the king of the mosh, you know, he knows what it's gonna take to make that part just like hit extra hard. Between him bringing that side, we're bringing the music, and, you know, also just being like open to trying new things, you know, like random like percussions or things in the back, just different layers. I feel like we all have made a really good like melting pot together.
Living Proof definitely keeps the roots of California curse, but brings up fresh takes like the track's Intermission featuring the California-based rapper Shakewell and the clean vocal cover of Good Good Things by the Descendants.
2, 3, 4, jump, 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 yeah. Hey, hey. Take all the weight and all the pain. It's going to be easy. I know they hate to see us win.
So let's talk about some of the cool side projects that members of Drain have their involvement at. First, the bass player AJ Hunnings that joined the band after the release of Living Proof is also the bass player for the awesome project No Pressure with members from The Story So Far, Regulate, and Light Years. There's a self-album released in 2022. It is one of my favorite albums ever. It's a great mix of pop punk and melodic hardcore. That is also a band that is worth making a video on, but that's for the near future. Cody Chavez played drums on a band called Gardens into 2023. And it's also a guitar player for the LA Thrash band called Tronkale, with vocalist Chad Tronkale, also vocalist of the great crossover band Red Death. Tronkale has one promo so far. Now, Sammy and Tim play on the cult classic short-lived band called Gulch. Gulch was an American hardcore punk formed in Santa Cruz in 2016. They also have vocalist Elliot Morrow and guitarist Ko Kakimoto and Christian Castillo. Gulch had a ferocious blend of hardcore punk, grindcore, metalcore, and power violence, characterized by intense energy and raw aggression. The discography included 2 demos and the only studio album called Impenetrable Cerebral Fortress from 2020 that gained significant attention for the intense live performances and distinctive merchandises. And despite the rising popularity, the band announced plans to disband in 2021, performing the last show at Sound and Fury Festival in LA in 2022. I don't want to expand too much my thoughts on Gulch because that's not the focus on the video, but if you want to know more of this story, I recommend this video over here. So why Drain became such an important name on the hardcore scene within such few years? In my opinion, Drain is just straight up fun. They bring insane energy, wild live shows, and a sound that just hits hard but still makes you smile. It's like classic hardcore mixed with skate vibes and very good times. I think the 2 most important figures are Sammy, the frontman, that brings so much positive energy, hypes the crowd up, and makes everyone feel like part of the family. Cody's straight up trash and raw riffs makes a perfect blend of just not heavy music, but a heavy, fun, aggressive music. There's no fake stuff, just passion, good people, and young fellas that are trying to achieve something with a positive message, good music, and catchy tunes.
Anything this band does at this point is just so far past what I thought this band was ever going to do. It's like, it's all pretty mind-blowing, but to be on such a legendary label like Epitaph.
It is still very early for Drain, but the journey from the formation in 2014 to where they are right now, it illustrates the resilience, innovation, and deep connection to the roots. Like they say, they're living proof that everything you do with passion, with hard work, and just put time and effort on, it can become reality. Through their unique sound, dynamic live performances, and the diverse musical background by the members, Drain, it is one of the most fun live bands with one of the biggest energies, and they had carved out a distinct space within hardcore, pushing the genre forward, honoring its origins. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is from a fan to another fans. It was a pleasure and also very fun to look through so many Drain live shows and interviews and get to know the early stages of the band, and also learn about other bands and other projects as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, share this video with a friend. It helps me a lot, and I hope to see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching again. Take care.